Next news. Breaking news from the White House.
A Hollywood liberal just crossed a line no decent American should ever cross. That's right. Reports say Mark Hamill has gone officially to the dark side, sharing content implying harm against President Donald Trump just days after a real assassination attempt shook this country. And now the Trump White House is firing back with both barrels, calling out the kind of reckless rhetoric that poisons the culture and puts lives at risk. It's not edgy, it's not funny, and it's definitely not harmless. The bigger question tonight is this: why does the left keep pretending words don't matter right up until someone gets hurt? See, this matters to every American watching because when public figures flirt with violence against a sitting president, they're not just posting to a tiny fan club online. They're feeding a culture of rage that can push unstable people over the edge. President Trump's already faced 3 assassination attempts in 2 years. And that's not some abstract talking point. That is the reality of what happens when the radical left spends years demonizing the man millions of Americans lawfully elected to lead this nation again. If they can normalize this language against President Trump, they can normalize it against his supporters, your family, your community, and anyone who dares reject their agenda. Politically, this exposes the Democrat media machine all over again. They lecture America about civility, then go suspiciously quiet when one of their own celebrities posts something so vile. The Trump administration is right to call this out. Silence is not neutrality here. Silence is permission. And while we're talking about protecting what matters and refusing to ignore warning signs, let me tell you about something that caught my attention for a very different reason. So you've probably seen the clip of Joe Rogan with Mel Gibson talking about people close to them facing serious health struggles and then seeing dramatic turnarounds. Rogan mentions red light-based therapies working at the cellular level. Gibson says it plainly: the stuff works. That hit home for me in my own life. I watched my wife deal with constant discomfort and anxiety, the kind that wears you down day after day. And I started learning from Jonathan Otto about red light therapy and what it may do to support recovery, calm, and overall wellness. And if you want to learn more, go to myredlight.com. Use NNN25 for 25% off individual items or NNN30 for 30% off bundles. Take a look and see if red light therapy could help your family too. Now back to a story where the left once again proves it has no brakes and no shame. This is the part the corporate press doesn't want to touch. It didn't happen in a vacuum. According to a timeline circulating online, an attempted assassination targeting President Trump happened on April 25th. The very next day, Barack Obama posted about rejecting violence in our democracy. Then just days later, Obama appears in a polished video with Mark Hamill promoting the Obama Presidential Center. After that, Hamill allegedly shares a grotesque anti-Trump content. Then comes the silence and total silence. Ted Cruz reacting: sick, twisted, and evil. The left's hatred knows no bounds. Violence is not okay, and a pathetic, washed-up actor calling for the president's murder is utterly disgraceful. This is what Mark Hamill posted. If only he should live long enough to witness his inevitable devastating loss in the midterms and be held accountable for his unprecedented corruption, impeached, convicted, and humiliated for his countless crimes, long enough to realize he'll be disgraced in the history books forevermore. And look at that. Donald Trump laying in an open grave. Disgusting. The date here, Donald Trump, 1946 to 2024. If only is the word. Disgusting. Ted Cruz calls it sick, twisted, and evil. Molly Pitcher fires back with a warning to Hamill and says these threats can cut both ways. And these kind of memes can be very easily made for you too, buddy. You like the one I did? You should watch your mouth when you threaten our president. And then she posts a picture of Mark Hamill in an open grave. 1951 to 2026. If only. So she says Hamill should watch his mouth after threatening Trump. Now Rob Schneider piles on, calling Hamill a disgrace and asking whether the FBI is looking into it. He says Mark Hamill is sick, demented, partisan, and a disgrace to decent Americans. Quote tweeting Julia, Mark Hamill posted an image on Blue Sky appearing to show deceased President Trump with the words, if only. The post came less than 2 weeks after the third assassination attempt on 47. I hope the FBI is looking into this pure evil. And here's what Rapid Response posted. Barack Hussein Obama just appeared in a video with this deranged lunatic 3 days ago. Now the same person is calling for President Trump to die. Why won't Obama and Democrats condemn this disgusting call to violence? White House spokesman Davis Ingle told Fox News Digital in a statement. They wrote, Mark Hamill is one sick individual. These radical left lunatics just can't help themselves. This kind of rhetoric is exactly what has inspired 3 assassination attempts in 2 years against our president. And they posted the actual blue sky, I guess, tweet or whatever you want to call it over there, that Mark Hamill posted. So the message is clear. The left keeps normalizing dangerous talk against Trump. And here we have the timeline. April 25, 2026, deranged Democrat activist Cole Allen tries to assassinate Trump. The next day, Barack Obama posts on X, "We don't have the details," despite the fact that we had a manifesto. May 4th, former President Barack Obama and has-been Star Wars actor Mark Hamill appeared together to promote the dumpster-style Barack Obama Presidential Center. May 6th, Hamill posts the below image and commentary on the hate speech site Blue Sky, wishing for a dead President Trump. May 7th, silence from Barack and the rest of the Democrat media complex. There are no coincidences. The White House eviscerating Mark Hamill for openly egging on the death of President Trump, the same Mark Hamill that Barack Hussein Obama just welcomed to his trash can library in Chicago. They want 47 to be killed.
Happy Star Wars Day from the Obama Presidential Center.
I have a very good feeling about this.
Mark, I am glad you are here. I want to tell you about someone.
Okay.
A young person born into ordinary circumstances, but restless, unsatisfied. A kid with big dreams, a bit of a rebel.
I like where this is going.
They join a scrappy group of underdogs and set out to change things.
By blowing up a giant space laser?
Mark, this is not about you. As wonderful as you are, this is about them. This isn't a monument to my legacy. It's a gateway to yours. The Obama Presidential Center is much more than a museum. It is an entire campus built to empower you. A place to come together, get inspired, and become a force for change. See what I did there?
Strong the dad jokes are.
Oh. That's perfect.
Unbelievable. Remember what they did to Gina Carano? Remember what Disney did to her? She makes one post and they canceled her, destroyed her career. Mark Hamill can post death threats wishing President Trump's demise, pictures of him in an open grave, and he gets a free pass. I don't understand it. But of course it is Disney, right? See, that's the real story. The issue is bigger than a washed-up actor trying to score points with the anti-Trump crowd. It's the ecosystem around him. The Democrat media culture that treats hatred of Trump as a personal trait, espouses dangerous rhetoric as satire, and then acts shocked when another unstable radical takes the bait. Senator Ted Cruz called it sick, twisted, and evil. Rob Schneider called Hamill a disgrace to decent Americans. The Trump White House nailed it best, warning that this kind of rhetoric is exactly what has helped inspire repeated attempts on our president's life. See, you can oppose policy in America. That's your right. But once you wink at violence against President Trump, you're no longer defending democracy. You are corroding it. So the bottom line is this. This is a test of whether America still has moral lines that cannot be crossed. You can hate Trump's policies. You can hate his style. You can hate that he's winning again for this country under the Trump administration. But the second you joke about his death or cheer harm against him, you have stepped outside the bounds of basic decency. That's why this backlash matters. It says the country is done letting radical left celebrities hide behind sarcasm while they pour fuel on a dangerous fire. Now, I want to hear from you. Yes or no? Should public figures who hint at violence against President Trump be publicly condemned every single time? Drop your answer in the comments right now. Share this report with someone who still thinks the left is the side of tolerance. Subscribe if you haven't already, but better yet, text raw feed to 844-840-4963 to beat the algorithm and get direct updates to your phone from me when it matters most. Check out the Next News merch shelf below this video. Stand tall, stand loud, and keep fighting for America first.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.